Hi, good morning, Dr.
Sir,
Jaidas Patil.
sir, very good morning, sir, and most welcome to our campus virtually.
Yeah, yes. Thanks for the invitation. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Can we start, sir?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yes. Akshay Chaudhary, sir, please.
Hi, good morning,
Yes, sir.
Dr.
Can we start?
Yes, sir.
Sir, very good morning, sir. Most welcome to our campus virtually.
Yeah, yes. Thanks for the invitation. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Sir,
Yes, I'm ready.
yes. Sir, we are suffering from echo. Chaudhary, sir. Akshay Chaudhary, sir. Please.
Hi, good morning,
Yes, sir.
Dr.
Can we start?
Yes, sir.
Sir, very good morning, sir. Most welcome to our campus virtually.
Yeah, yes. Thanks for the invitation. Thank you.
Huh? केलं का बंद?
सर बाकीचे मोबाईलचा स्पीकर बंद करा सर. तुमच्या जवळ जे बसले असतील ना सर्वांचे.
हा, नाही सर, आता बंद झाला. झाला, बंद झाला. So just I'm starting, Chaudhary sir. Eh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Our respected chairperson of our international webinar, Honorable Kaka Saheb Vasantrao More, respected director of our institution, Honorable Dada Saheb Rohanji More, Honorable Kaka Saheb, and our chief guest, Dada Saheb, our resource person, Professor Chin Chia Hua from Malaysia, University Kebans, Malaysia, National University of Malaysia, and all my dear friends. First of all, I welcome you all in our campus virtually. Just all my friends are informed that my friend Professor Chin Chia Hua from Malaysia, he is a well-known personality all over the world, but till just I wish to introduce him as he is a scientist, great scientist from Malaysia who is working in the field of nanotechnology in various applications, just as solar cell, sensors, actuators, transducers, optoelectronic devices, and all other related optoelectronics fields. Professor Chin Chia Hua is a very enthusiastic and energetic personality who gave me permission within a fraction of a second to deliver his lecture virtually in our campus. He has a reputed recognitions all over the world. His entire citation is more than 5,000. His H index and I-10 index is beyond limit, means it is unlimited. It has the tallest academic height all over the world. So I'm proud of you that such a great personality is my friend, and we are in communication since last 10 years. Here, I also would like to welcome our Head of Department of Physics, Dr. D.N. Suryanshi sir, my Vice Principal, Dr. S.B. Bhavsar sir, my all team, teachers from my institution, students from my institution, students and teachers, faculty, scientists, dignitaries from all over India. So I welcome all you and requesting Professor Chinchiahua to deliver his lecture and guide us about how to write a scientific article. When I talk with him, he told that many our scientific people, they are publishing the work, and that work is sometimes not suitable to publish in a reputed journals having high impact factor and international repute. So he preferred to deliver his lecture on how to write the scientific article technically. So I am requesting Professor Shin Chiahua to deliver his speech. Thank you, sir, and most welcome. Before that, sorry, just wait, sir. Before that, I would like to enlighten a lamp of knowledge with the auspicious hands of our President, Honorable Kaka Sahib More, our Director and Chief Guest, Dada Sahib Rohanji More, and our resource person, Professor Shin Chiahua. So I am requesting Professor Chaudhary sir to enlighten, to available us the lantern to enlighten it.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
I am requesting Professor Shin Chiahua to deliver his lecture. Thank you and most welcome.
Okay, thank you very much. Just want to check, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's great. Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, it's nice to see everyone here. So first of all, I would like to thanks Dr. Patil Devidas Ramlao for the kind introductions and also the invitations for me to be here virtually and share with you some of my experience on writing a research manuscript for publications. I believe some of you, the participants in this room, they have already enough experience in terms of writing manuscript. So I'm here actually not to tell you how to publish. I think most of you here already have experience, but I'd rather here to share with you my own experience and also opinion on how to prepare a good manuscript. Okay, so again, good morning. Just now I forgot to greet the president. Okay, we have presidents and also the directors and also vice principal and also the coordinator. So good morning, everyone. Okay, so this is a title I proposed to Dr. Ramlao 2 or 3 weeks ago. Okay, so let me start. I'm given 1:30, I think 16 minutes, maybe 1 hour. So I tried my best to complete it within the time frame given. Okay, so I believe everyone knows about writing papers but we always have to remember to prepare a manuscript, you always start from an idea. So you have either idea or ideas, okay, or combinations of different ideas. Then maybe the principal investigator will apply funding. Okay, then with the funding only we're allowed to hire student, okay, to buy chemicals, okay, to conduct so that the student can conduct experiment, and we need also funding to send sample for characterizations. Okay, so I think I would say each of the item here play equal roles, okay, important roles. So, and talented scientists, the student is always the one of the important factors. Okay, so after conducting the experiment, then with a proper control, okay, careful control in terms of experimental parameters, okay, and then handling, then the student will manage to collect good data. Without good data or good result, it's hard, in my opinion, very difficult to produce a good manuscript that you can submit, and the chances to get rejected if the quality is low, then definitely the chances is very low. So always remember these are the key factors. I think everyone are aware about this. So and remember, it's impossible for students to not produce bad data. So we always need to collect appreciate bad data, because bad data will give us more rooms actually to think about where is the problem. So how can we improve the experiment? So in order to produce good data. So sometimes bad data could be opportunity for scientists or students to come up with a new discovery. So this is very important. So don't underestimate on the bad data. So good or bad is really depends on your own justifications. You see it as bad, but maybe in the point of other in the point of view of other person, they may think this is a good data. So that's why student and also researchers should read more, okay, should read more along the process from generating data, generating idea, obtaining funding, write proposal. Then a student also need to read more, okay, and make, I think basically every day you need to search relevant articles that you have to read and understand, and try to incorporate the result or the discussion or the idea into your research. That's how you produce a good research manuscript. Okay, so different positions of researcher, they publish for different reasons. Like as a student, okay, as a student like you, some of you here, so you publish because you want your work being widely read. Okay, then maybe you are so ambitious, you want to become a famous scientist. Okay, and maybe you need to polish your CV in order for you to sustain or manage to get a permanent positions later after the graduations. Then maybe you want to apply for funding, okay, for yourself, and maybe you want to make your mom feel proud. This is also one of the very important factors. Okay, then in Malaysia, I'm not sure what is the requirement in the university in India, but in Malaysia, so like my university, students need to publish before they submit their thesis and to obtain the master or degree. So master, they will need to publish at least one WOS, Web of Science index journals. Then PhD is 2. So the requirement is increasing every year. So this is very important. I see this as something good for the student to work hard to achieve the target. But we have students actually can publish 4 or 5 or 6 throughout their PhD study. So it's always depends on the willingness, how much effort the student put on their own thesis, the experiment. This is very important. Okay, so for funders, so like lecturers in the university, sorry, this is a funding provider, okay, funding provider. And for university and also for the journals, so they have their own reasons, okay, purpose of publishing journal articles. So I will just skip. This is I think very common. Okay, so as I told just now, a good manuscript, a good research manuscript always start from a proposal, then conduct experiment. Okay, then discussion with friends or your colleague in the lab, and with your supervisor or co-supervisor. Then you do some tuning on the research experiment, then to refine or repeat the experiment in order for you to confirm that the result is correct or accurate. This is also very important. Okay, you don't want the data that you publish is wrong, and you cannot actually and eventually you need to maybe retreat the article. This is something very bad for the researcher. So make sure that you double check that the results are accurate or correct, and before you come up with the manuscript. So this is a continuous process. So without missing one of it, eventually you may the manuscript produced may not be up to the par, or may not fulfill the requirement by the journals or the chief editor. So that is very important. Okay, so first come first. So you have to know before you start the experiment. So this always is a discussion between a supervisor and the student. It's good for the student to know why the research, the project needs to be conducted at the first place, because without knowing the problem statement, without knowing the reason of conducting the experiment or to do the project, to carry out the project, without knowing the problem statements, it's very difficult for the student to concentrate. You may have different directions at different times. It's hard for them to concentrate on their research planning. Okay, the planning and together, and eventually when the student in the process of writing the manuscript, the draft of the manuscript, without the problem statement, you may go everywhere. So without a clear direction to go, this is very important. So ask yourself, okay, if you are a student, ask yourself why the project or the experiment need to be conducted. Why this work is so important? What you want to solve? What are you trying to offer? That is one very first question you need to ask yourself. Same go to the funding provider. They will see what's the intention of the proposing this project, this proposal. That is same thing goes to the editor of the journal's house. So this is a problem statement. Ask yourself first. Okay, make sure that you have a clear problem statement. Then you need to know where is your positions. So this kind of work, how intensive actually this related topic has been conducted or reported previously. Then you know the current positions of the topic that you are studying. Okay, then you need to understand what is the limitations. Okay, throughout the literature review, when you download, I think up to hundreds or thousands of journals that you downloaded, you need to really focus on single problem statement, single topic. Okay, because we are dealing with thousands of articles. So I understand, because I was also a student 20 years ago. Too many articles, then until I don't know which one is important to read. So that's one thing is important also when you do the searching. Okay, when you search articles, you download article, don't simply download and save into the computer. Eventually you may have too many articles for you to read, then you don't know which one to start from. So that's why when you do the article search, you use suitable keywords, then you need to refine it. Okay, refine it accordingly, then only download those articles you think is the most important. Okay, that is the first step. Okay, so throughout the reading, okay, download the reading of the articles, you do the literature review, then you should know what is the problem. Okay, you identify the problem, then you know up to now, okay, what is the limitations, okay, and also this problem which is not yet been solved. Okay, then you have from here though you know what is the specific problem statement that you are targeting. once you have the specific problem statement, then only you can come up with your hypothesis. Okay, your hypothesis. So what do you want to propose? Okay, from the problem, then you know, okay, what you want to solve, then how you want to solve. Okay, then you come up with your own hypothesis, and also something like what if I introduce this kind of material? What if I introduce this kind of reaction parameters? Okay, then you should able to solve the problem. So this is the very important questions that you need to ask yourself. Okay, then eventually once you have a suitable hypothesis or anticipations, then only you can come up with the objective of your study. So how many objectives is really depends on your planning. What how ambitious you are. Okay, if you're only a master's student, maybe you can just aim for 2 objectives. Okay, 2 objectives. Then if a PhD student, maybe you can aim for 3 to 4 objectives. So it really depends. So try to discuss with your supervisor at the beginning when you receive the project title. Okay, you try to discuss with your supervisor. Try to identify, okay, one by one, okay, the points here. Then you able to identify, and you know where which direction to go. Okay, before conducting the experiment, and also before you do the data analysis, and also before you writing the manuscript. Okay, this is very important. So writing research manuscript is always something is related to what are you offering. Okay, ask yourself, if you are reader, okay, if you are a reader, what you want. Okay, what you want to read from this article. So if you are an author, so what are you offering? Okay, what are you offering? So put yourself at the positions of the reader. Okay, so research article should be novel. Okay, we always maybe you from the publication title, I think you should you always see some titles say novel approach, novel process. That is fine, but it's not enough actually. Novel doesn't mean useful. Okay, sometimes just special, but if turn out no benefit, okay, then no point, okay, to offer this kind of idea, okay, to conduct the experiment. Or sometimes you can also see some keywords also, faster, facile, better, greater performance, or greener, okay, green chemicals, cheaper, okay, new applications, or you want to solve certain problem. So these are the keywords that you can use. Okay, so where you actually come up with these keywords is from the problem statements. So if the problem statement is the conventional process is too slow, okay, the reaction is too slow, the efficiency is low, then maybe what you want to solve, you fasten the reactions. Okay, you cut short the reaction, you cut short the process so that you can produce the product faster. Okay, then better performance. If the existing method process, the sample or the product produced is low in terms of performance, then you know that the low performance is the problem. Then you are proposing something to overcome or to improve the performance. Okay, these are some examples of this. Then convince yourself before convincing the editor. Okay, so if yourself you cannot convince, then I think better don't submit the manuscript, because eventually it can be rejected. Highly possible it will be rejected. So try to convince yourself. So convince yourself not at the point of writing manuscript, because when you write manuscript, it's already too late. So if you cannot convince yourself at this stage because of wrong experiment protocol, wrong data interpretations, then I don't see much thing you can do, because you already have the data. Okay, so convince yourself at throughout the process of conducting the experiment, discussion, and also drafting of the manuscript. That is very important. Okay, so because not only editor and also reviewer, or bear in mind, manuscript will be reviewed by 2, 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 reviewers. So they determine whether your manuscript can be accepted or not. Okay. So four important points of preparing. I try to summarize this one, but eventually later I will go to detail one by one. So the first one, imagine your research as telling a story. So people always like to listen story. When we watch movie, also the storyline has to be flow smooth. Then lead us step by step, so easy to understand. Okay, interesting. Okay. So the story, the story also interesting. That is important. Same goes to drafting a research manuscript. So start by asking a big questions, telling the reader what problem actually you have identified. Okay, so how significant and how important this problem. Okay, so and how you're going to do what you want to propose to solve the problem. Okay, that is the first thing you need to actually highlighted in the introductions parts of the manuscript. So to catch attention of reader that or the editor, okay, on the editor, that your work is important. Okay, the impact is high. So he or she should accept and publish your manuscript. Okay, high impact paper needs strong evidence and noteworthy conclusions. So the conclusion has to tell what is the contribution. Okay, what is your contribution towards this topic? Okay, so look to fill as many gaps. Okay, one gap is fine. If the gap is big enough, is significant and important enough, then I think one manuscript filling one research gap is good enough. If the gap is important, then great research build up and whole picture as a system. So writing as a whole pictures. Okay, when from the abstract to the conclusion, so it has to be synchronized. Okay, I will explain in detail later. Then a paper should tell a clear and compelling story, so easy to understand. So the sentence has to be short, not too lengthy. Then one sentence carry or deliver one message. Okay, not one paragraph, only one sentence, and you're trying to deliver many messages in one paragraph. That is there's not research articles. Maybe for other types of publication, maybe you can do so. Okay, second, know your audience. That's why selections of right journals is very important. You know who is going to read. Okay, you know that you may publish in these journals. You know that the audience, the researcher, are working in your area. So you want them to appreciate and benefit from your work. Okay, then be short, clean, and clear. I told you just now. So maybe I can just skip. Later I will share the slide with Dr. Ramrao. Okay, Party Devidas Ramrao. Then maybe I can circulate to the participant, so you can try to extract useful information later. Okay, then the last one is make good use of figures. Okay, I will explain to you later why figures and tables are very important. Okay. Together with the discussions, by referring to the table or figures, then reader can obtain the results and also discussion as easy as possible. Okay, so if everyone okay, no questions, then I will just continue to section by sections. Okay, if all right. Anything want to ask at this moment? Anything? Any questions? So I hope you can hear me right. So make sure that I don't talk to myself. Can someone please respond if everything okay, so that I can just continue. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Please continue.
Okay, thank you very much. I just afraid I'm some technical connection problem, so I'm talking to myself. So, okay, if everything okay, then we'll continue. So let's go to section by sections. Normally, okay, most of the research articles, like science and technology research article or engineering research article, the manuscript will be divided into different sections like this: title, abstract, introduction, method, result and discussion, conclusion, and references. And sometimes you have appendices, okay, appendix that you want to also publish together with your manuscript for additional information. Then you can also submit together. Okay, let's go to title. Okay, title lesser gets more download. So this is a statistic actually just collected. The length, numbers of words of title, then the percentage of download. So eventually, shorter title gets higher download numbers. So this is from some study actually. Then my practice 10, okay, the most 15 words. It really depends, okay, it really depends. Then simple and attention grabbing. So means attention is a keyword, has to be catchy. So your title must reflect the why your work is so important. Okay, you should choose the right keywords. Then try something short. Okay, still details exactly what your research is about. So I really cannot tell you what kind of title is suitable for your work. It's really I think yourself, the researcher may know better. Okay, what is the title? But my advice is not too lengthy. Okay, not too lengthy, and choose catchy keywords, because as a reader, researcher, when we download search articles from the let's say you use Scopus or use ScienceDirect, okay, Elsevier, then we type in keywords. Keywords can increase the chances of people view and download your article. When they download and they read, then the chances of them to cite your paper is also high. So I believe everyone here wish that your article be read and benefit by someone else, and they cite your work. So this is what we always want. Okay, so title, then abstract. Okay, abstract is always abstract, and title is always the last part when we draft a research manuscript. So it's very important. Okay, it's very important, especially abstract. If you are aware, abstract and title is always visible. Okay, in the journal's website when they list down the certain issues. Okay, let's say the latest issue, then they will list down the title and also the abstract. So for but you cannot have the access of the full article. So abstract is there. So you can from here you can see how important abstract is, because abstract summarize, okay, your paper, summarize your work, summarize what you want to offer to the readers. If they're interested, they will download your paper. So not download everything then read the full article, because everyone is so busy, so many things to do. So the most easier way is easiest way is to read the title, okay, then read the abstract. Then you should roughly know whether the article is related to your work or not. Okay, so past tense, okay, should be capable to standing in its place. So without reading research, without discussion, introductions and conclusion, we should know, okay, what roughly you want to report or offer. Okay, allow a reader to evaluate quickly the content of your paper and judge it whether it's relevant. Okay, then convey a complete synopsis of paper. So abstract is like a summary, it's a synopsis. So within a word type limit, if you're aware also, different journal will have different limit of number of words for abstract, mostly from 150 to 250. So you should nicely properly use the word count, then to come up with something that very compact but comprehensive to the reader. Okay, stay within the words limit. So first one, briefly introduce the general topic. So the background of the study. So as I told you just now, telling a story, you're telling a story, you should have a introduction background, like a story for kids, right? Once upon a time. So what happened? So those kind of one or two sentences to explain the background of the study. Tell the reader why you conducted this experiment, why you conducted this work, why it's so important. Okay, that is a very general for the general topic. Then slowly leads leader to the research question. So for example, you have one issue, this is a problem. So this problem will lead to another problem, which will be significantly affect, let's say, human or animals. Okay, then that is the come up with the research question. So how to solve this problem? Okay, so from the hypothesis, okay, the problem, you come up with your own hypothesis, then you design the objectives. Then briefly explain the methodology. So abstract always abstract should contain introductions, research question, methodology, okay, how you conducted the experiment, then what is the result and discussions, okay, a little bit, then what is the conclusion. Okay, that is abstract. That always remember, the methodology, result and conclusion always link to the research question. Okay, so you tell the story at the beginning. This is my problem. This is the research question. Then if you're using methodology and discussion or conclusion, which are not relevant to your research question, then you may have problem because you are not solving the problem that you have been identified at the very beginning. Okay, that is abstract. So I give you some example later. Okay, so the last one is write freely, because as I told you just now, abstract is and title is always the last sections for the author to write. So you can just list down, just write, even with wrong sentence, grammatical problem, also no problem. Just type any important keywords or your idea need to be included into the abstract. Then from there, you need to cut. Okay, this is not important. You just slash. And eventually, the final one will be the most important content. Then only you restructures the sentence. Okay, improve the sentence. This is my practice normally. Okay, I give you a couple examples here. So this is one of the manuscript published in Scientific Report, okay, Nature Scientific Report. So it's very small. I don't think you can see, but I will just magnify later. So this is the title. So I use those articles which is related to my which are related to my work, my background. So this is something to do with antibacterial activity of silver and cellulose. So for bacteria, resistant bacteria. Okay, so I will magnify. So this is the abstract. Okay, this is the abstract. So you can see the first, I think the first 3 sentences basically telling the background. So antibiotic microbial resistance. Okay, microbial resistance is a major global challenge. So this is a very general, okay, very general problem statement. Okay, general statement. Then to fight against these bacteria, new antimicrobial agents are continually needed. So you see, the author would like to tell reader that this is an important problem. Okay, important problem. So historically, many transition methods has been employed, but their toxicity is an issue. So you need to tell also reader what have been conducted previously. So what is the status of this problem at the moment? Okay, so you tell that many actually has been used, proposed, but they also have their own problem, the toxicity. Okay, so then you go to the subject matter that you are using here. This study is using cellulose. So you can see the title is using microfibrillated cellulose. Okay, you tell reader why you choose this material, because it's a natural origin. Okay, abundantly available. Okay, abundantly available. Then it's also proven to be a good material, good capping agent for the synthesis of silver nanoparticle. So now you see problem, then you see the research question, then you see the subject matter they want to do. Okay, you want to they are dealing with. Okay, then abstract contained method I told you just now. So herein, we describe a green synthesis method to produce this biocomposite using what? Okay, explain briefly, not the concentration, not the temperature, not the stirring rate, no. In general, okay, how you perform the experiment. Okay, then results and discussions. Okay, also briefly, those important results. In this case, the author reported the size of the nanoparticle. Okay, then the antibacterial performance. Okay, so using this concentration, 1500 ppm, you can actually inhibit gram-positive bacteria. Then 1125 ppm, you can inhibit gram-negative bacteria. Okay, then conclusions. This novel in silver nanoparticle cellulose biocomposite shows potential, okay, potential to be applied in future development. So this is how you package your abstract. So remember, editor, reviewer will go to your abstract first. Editor is the one that receives your manuscript at the first place. So if editor cannot understand what you're trying to offer or explain or deliver, then he or she may reject your paper. Okay, same goes to reviewer. Okay, I give you another one. So just want to convince you that the structure of abstract actually is standard. You have a template actually to write abstract. Always remember, it has to be start from background. So background, what is that? Background is the silver nanoparticle. This work is about silver nanoparticle, okay, for antibacterial, okay, and anti-biofilm applications. So the subject matter is a silver nanoparticle, widely used. So tells the reader, okay, this is popular. This material has been in the market or in research stage. Basically, it's a very popular material. However, okay, so you see, however is something negative. So, but there are some problems, okay, so such as relatively high toxicity to cells. So the cytotoxicity is one problem of silver nanoparticle, okay, and also low penetration efficiency into the bacteria biofilm. So for anti-fouling, okay, silver is not native or the niche silver nanoparticle is not good enough. So you're telling reader, this is the problem, okay. So what you're trying to offer. So you're trying to offer what is your hypothesis. So in order to decrease the cytotoxicity, okay, and also to increase the antibacterial or the anti-biofilm efficiency, a novel composite composed of the silver and also some other types of chemicals, okay, this is one of the chemical decorated on the silver nanoparticle, should able to enhance the properties to solve the problem. So this is the method. Okay, so this manuscript, this article, the author did not actually include the methodology in detail, how they conduct. They just tell what kind of chemical, okay, what kind of chemical they use to produce or synthesize the nanoparticle composite. That's all. Then it goes to the result and discussion. Okay, so tell the important results. Okay, for in this case, what is the pH? Okay, what is the effects of pH? Then what is the performance of this nanocomposite towards the inhibition to bacteria? You can tell only the important results, okay, and the discussion. So you see, the result indicated that the design, okay, nanoparticle for antibacterial applications, okay, which also has particle that did not harm the healthy cell, should promise the future use of human. So this result and discussion, okay, include important result and important discussion, because we know that one research manuscript should contain many characterizations. Some of the characterization is just as a supporting, okay, supporting data. For instance, like let's say XRD, okay, XRD, let's say UV visible spectrophotometer. Those are for supporting to confirm that the silver nanoparticle is successfully produced. That's all. But remember, the work is packaged actually to enhance the antibacterial performance of the nanoparticle and also the penetration towards the biofilm formation. So your result and discussion should target on the problem, not to prove to the reader that you successfully produce a silver nanoparticle. That is not really important, but that is a supporting data to prove, okay, to convince editor and reviewer that you really, okay, you 100% confirm that the nanoparticle, the silver nanoparticle have been successfully produced. That's all. So no need to actually include. I foresee, I think many, actually from my experience, many students actually include everything. TM, XRD, spectrophotometer, okay, even zeta potential, actually they include in the abstract. It makes the abstract become lengthy, okay, too long, and when people read, you actually out of focus. You don't know what actually what is the important findings obtained from this study. Okay, then last one, conclusion. So the satisfactory selection of bacteria compared to this RBC together with their potent eradication of bacterial film makes this material promising, okay, a promising nanomexens in biomedical field. So just a statement to conclude, okay, in my opinion, the material I produce in the work in this project could be a potential, okay, it's good for this kind of applications. Okay, that is conclusion. Actually, I have many more, but I think I will just skip. Okay, just skip. Okay, that is abstract. So let's go to introductions. Okay, introduction is a literature review. Is something like chapter 2 in conventional thesis. Okay, conventional PhD or master thesis. So you start with a broad background. Okay, so it's a funnel. Okay, kind of a funnel shape. So from a wide angle to a very narrow scope, okay, then down to your field of your study, the field of your study. So that is introductions. So explain the rationale behind each step. So what is the subject matter that you are doing, okay, in general, down to the specific, okay. So focus down to your research problem. So you always come back to the research problem, then and the hypothesis. So justify why your work is essential. So you always refer to previous study, right? So what have been conducted, okay, previously, okay, then what people overlook, okay, what are the limitations, okay, what maybe they have unclear result, which is not really answered yet, okay, that you want to investigate further. Then you can cite that articles, okay, telling people that you have a flow actually. So this is the previous story. Now you want to continue the story, and what you're offering, you try to answer a certain question which is yet to be answered. Okay, explain how you're going to fill the research gap. So you have a hypothesis. So let's say this specific problem, I want to solve it. I cannot generate idea without referring to anyone. So maybe you read somewhere, okay, some other different article, different materials. You know that they managed to solve certain problem using new idea. So you try to use the method, incorporate in your study. Then you try to solve the problem. Those are literature review, okay. And you try to hypothesize, okay. So what if I change the material, I change the chemical, okay. Then with specific or different properties, so what will be the result? That is hypothesis, okay, hypothesis. So alert the reader to any weaknesses and assumption. So previous study, what are the weaknesses, okay? Then define the problem. So ensure discussion and conclusion refer back to this. So a good research manuscript will always cite, okay, will always cite or referred references cited in the introductions. I think this is quite easy to understand. Definitely, you will cite important articles where you obtain the problem statement. So you know the problem statement from someone else, some other study. Then now you want to solve the problem. So you should also cite again in the discussion later. Okay, what is their method? So now you change the method, you change the chemical, and you manage to solve it. Then what is your postulations? Okay, why you can solve it based on the new idea that you propose. So always make sure that the citing you should cite again actually those important references in the introduction section. Okay, so introduction is to grab the readers, okay, draw their attentions on the crucial issue, okay, the issues, what are the problems in detail, okay. Remember, in the abstract you have briefly in general what are the problems, okay, but in the introduction you need to discuss in detail specifically what are the problems, okay, what are the issues. Then keep it short, 3 to 5 paragraphs normally, not 6, 7 is too lengthy. If you direct extract a master or PhD thesis, then definitely the introduction section will be very lengthy. So try to minimize, okay, the number of paragraphs if possible. Then avoid the literature review. It's not a review articles. I'm trying to present here is all for research articles. Okay, so set the scene. So limit yourself to certain scene. Okay, or certain aspect, certain problem statement. Okay, then rather than describe everything. So common mistake done by students, they would just outline the introductions to subject matter. For instance, like they say this student use cellulose, then he or she would have one paragraph introduction to cellulose from very general knowledge. Cellulose is let's say linear beta B glucose polymer polysaccharide. That is for chapter literature review. That is not for a research manuscript. So go to the important points, okay, rather than describe everything. Okay, so I give you example. So this is another one published in Nature. Okay, nano diamond supported silver nanoparticle as a potent and safe antibacterial agents. So these are introductions. So you can see first paragraph, second paragraph. You have 2 paragraphs here. So background. Okay, background. The first paragraph definitely start from the first paragraph of introduction must be background. Then what is the general problem statement? So in general, okay, infectious disease, okay, is one of the serious threat, because infectious disease is a very general term, very general scope of study. So you tell the reader, okay, this is this infectious disease is very serious, okay, it's a serious threat. Then it causes what? Okay, try to make them agree with you that that this is a serious problem. Then it can lead you to maybe serious, let's say fever, okay. Then maybe transplant replacement also. Then weaken immune system, okay. So in detail, okay. So then you go to the subject matter. Though the subject matter of this work is on silver nanoparticle, so start to tell a story. So from the background, okay, first thing you want to catch attention of reader that what you are trying to do is on a topic which is important, okay. It has a very serious issue, okay, to human. Now go to the subject matter, the materials, okay, or the topic that you want to propose. So for centuries, silver has been recognized as a as a natural antibiotic material. So tell the story. What is the evolution of silver? The subject matter in this case is silver. Okay, then able to cure. Okay, and recently the nanoscale silver is emerging as a new generations. Okay, of antibacterial material, and this silver nanoparticle typically 20 nanometer in diameter. Okay, so then you tell the specific problem statement for the subject matter that you are trying to propose here. So the subject matter is silver nanoparticle, but you have a specific problem statement on the subject matter. Okay, so here you have here, despite the promising of using this silver nanoparticle to fight against the bacteria or pathogen, okay, they are increasing concern about the development of resistance. Okay, and you prove, okay, you convince the reader that this really a issue, a concerns, okay, on silver nanoparticle, the use of silver nanoparticle. Okay, then To avoid the resistance, okay, then you tell him further, to avoid the resistance development, the simplest and most general solution is by using a high level of silver, okay, to ensure rapid and long-term bactericidal effects. Okay, so this is how this manuscript package to come out with the introductions. So I repeat again. So it always starts from general problem statement, then go to your subject matter, then what are the problems or issue on your subject matter. So then lead you to the methodology later. Okay, I have another one here. Maybe I would just go to this, maybe this one. I have too many actually. So yeah, what I want to grab your attention here is the one paragraph. So this is another example. Maybe I can just skip. What else I may? Oh, I took too long time. Okay, so the most important part in introduction section is the last paragraph in the introductions. So if I think you may have experience, this is the paragraph that I like to read most of the time. A paragraph before the methodology. In this study, this material was immobilized, so on and so forth. Okay, this is the objective that you want to achieve. Normally, this paragraph will tell the reader, okay, the reader, what you want to propose, what you are doing, what is your objective, okay, what is the objective of your study. So always look at this paragraph. Then by reading this, then you should know that what the author would like to offer. Okay, I will just, maybe I cannot explain too much because I take too long time for the introductions. Okay, then go to the methodology. Okay, method. So simple past tense and passive voice. This is definitely need to follow. Okay, because this something happened already. Then verified by other researchers. So clear. Okay, clear and full with informations. Okay, then so that someone else can repeat. Okay, or replicate or repeat your experiment. Then describe the material, method, characterization. So these are informations needed. Okay, then explain how you measure, how you calculate, how you do the statistical analysis. You have t-test, you have ANOVA. So those are the description that you need to include in the methodology. So always remember, methodology has to be written. It's like as if like you want to achieve the aims or objective of the study. The aim and objective is, this is the one that I mentioned to you just now. The last paragraph in introductions is always something to do with the objective of the study. So when you design, okay, write your methodology, make sure that you achieve everything is for you to achieve the objective. Okay, so yep, I have some example. Maybe you can read later. Okay, result, straightforward, commentary, what you observe. Okay, in general, any trends, okay, any trends that you observe. Then no interpretation or evaluation, just by observing the result, the data, the trend of it. Then that is result. Then avoid excessive information. Okay, then don't repeat. This is also a very common problem. Students try to will always, some of them actually, they will have redundant data presented in table, will have also a graph in figure. So try to avoid that, only one, okay? No redundant result. Display the most relevant information in the graph, in figure, and table. This is actually it's art for me. Drafting or design a graph or figure is an art things. Different students will have different sense of art, then they will have their own preference how to design. So hardly actually to influence or control the students. I will give freedom. As long as important data is there, important information is there, then I will just accept, because this is their data. I'll give you example. Okay, example later. Good figure and good table. Then use the text to direct the reader to this. So you have text, then and you lead the reader to refer to certain, let's say, table or figures, then they can understand easier what you want to deliver. Then highlight the correlations, okay, and the key findings. Let's say you want to relate one study with another study, So want to compare benchmark with previous study, this is where you should put in your manuscript. And also include negative result. Okay, so actually excluding bad result is a bad sign actually for me. You should also tell that the reader that you have negative result. Okay, and you should provide your own opinion. Why this is negative? Why the strength is dropped? Why the performance is weakens? So, and provide your own opinion. With maybe you have citations, then try to relate with your study. Those are actually useful for future researcher. Okay, let's say in future works that they want to try to solve this problem. Okay, that is also something you should also remember. So negative result, okay, and how you handle them often lead to an interesting discussion section. Okay, so negative result actually maybe you create another problem statement for future study. So why not, right? Okay, so don't worry about negative result. There's some, I think, human, you think that negative result, negative means minus, maybe the mark, the quality of paper will drop. Let's say editor or reviewer notice that, then you try to remove the negative result. That is something not in shouldn't happen. Okay, so use an appendix for large amount of raw data. So that's why some of the articles, when you download it, then if you want further information, you should download also the supplementary documents. So those are for, let's say, minor data, minor raw data, minor results that you think is not so important, but if the reader wants to read, then they can just download for free. Okay, so figure and table. So I give you a couple example later. So one standalone message. Okay, one figure, only one message. Okay, don't try to make the figure or table too congested. But as I told you just now, it's an art thing. So it really depends on different person, vary from person to person. So I don't want to judge on this, but I'll give you example. Okay, don't overload figure or table. Okay, then a table should entirely understandable together with the captions. Okay, captions is also very important. A nice caption can tell everything basically without reader to refer the text. Okay, I give example later. Then do not discuss what you find means in figure legend. So these are one example of poor figure. Yep, my personal opinion. This is something directly extract from Excel, Microsoft Excel. Though it's suitable for PowerPoint presentations, for let's say progress presentation of student. You can just direct extract this. It's fine because very easy. The Excel will generate the graph for you. Then you just cut and paste into your PowerPoint. But for scientific publication, especially for those high impact, high quality journals, let's say Q1 or Q2 journals, actually you will actually, for me, it will makes your paper looks not really professional. Okay. Another example. So this is the one. You can see overload with the figure here. This is one bad example. Then also this one. What you are what you want to deliver actually is not clear. You see this one, the bottom one. No trend line at all. Then everything scattered. Really, readers don't know what you want to deliver without the trend line and without indications at all. And the legend is also too compact. Okay, this is a very common problem done by student. And this one, without the tick, okay, the tick, we don't know which one is where. Okay, then no standard deviations, error bar. Okay, no legends. Okay, no legends. I don't know which one is which. Okay, these are common issue. Then even worse, some students just direct cut and paste the figure, the graph from Excel with a title. This is not the format required by journals. And yep, so this is one example. Then, and this one is again, so you see, this here is the important result, but the legend occupied one big portions of the area of the figure. So basically everything's are the same. All the 4 figures A, B, C, D are the same. Might as well you use one. You combine everything into one, label A, B, C, D. Then you choose only one legend. This is one suggestions. Okay. Then yep, this is the worst one, the most worst one. I think this is a result. I directly cut or crop from the data obtained from the Excel, the XRD raw data, and plotted in the XRD program. Okay, so this is very raw without any the index label. Okay, so this is also very common. I think also happened to my student. Then too small font size. You always remember some of the journal, they have 2 columns. Okay, they will copy edit the manuscript become 2 columns. Let's say the font size is too small, then may not visible. So you have so many space here. You can try to increase the font size. So as I told you, it's something like art. So you have to practice. So my advice to my students is always refer to good journals. Okay, good journals article. You read more good journals articles published in high impact journals. Okay, let's say Q1 or Q2 paper. Then slowly, okay, you will adapt and then you will follow the method they use. Okay, so it takes time. Okay, it takes time. Okay, I give you one nice good example. So you can just combine all figures. Okay, those figures, if you think that you can do discussions together, one support by another, then you can just merge it into one figure. When explain in detail, okay, each figure inside this, okay, clearly, as I told you just now, a good figure should have caption. Okay, explain everything basically. Okay, then you can understand the content, what you want to deliver in from this figure without reading the text. That is the definition of good figure. Okay, I cannot tell you how to write. Okay, because it really depends on what kind of work, what kind of result that you have, what the way that you want to do the discussions. So read, okay, read more, follow them, okay, follow the way how they design, how they frame, how they write the captions. Slowly you learn. Okay, then label, help the readers. Okay, say in the text you say 2361 frequency. This is representing, let's say, alkene. Then label here, not asking reader to roughly, okay, 2000, this is 2500, okay, this is 2000 and 2250, so 2003 is somewhere here. It's not like that. Okay, make their life easier. Okay, then they were happy to read, then they were happy to cite. Okay, same goes to the XRD. Label the 2 theta. Okay, and also figure. So arrange it nicely, then label it with a clear label text here. Then include the scale bar. Many students just cut and paste the original micrograph from SEM or TM and with the date here and the machine model and no, not like that. Okay, you need to do some post processing. This crop, you need to crop it, then you need to put it into nice in nice way. Okay, for better comparison. Okay, and graphical abstract. Don't never underestimate graphical abstract or graphical infographic. Okay, so it can help editor or reviewer understand your work easier. Okay, because I think human tends to prefer look at picture rather than text, a lot of text. So picture can make them easy understand what you want to deliver easily compared to just 100% text. So design, draw it nicely using software, using Photoshop, or even my students use PowerPoint. Then they can do a lot of adjustment, actually, using shape, using color. Then they can line, okay. Then they can come up with a nice figure. So this is this is what I always recommend or encourage my student to do, because it's also easier for me to understand what the student are trying to deliver. Okay. So, and again, okay, so combine pictures and figures, okay. So discussion, I think discussion is not really new, I think, for you. So discussion, you basically just from the result, then you discuss, then you cite previous study. As I told you just now, discussion always you need to also refer or cite those references cited in the introductions. Okay, then explain a link, correlation in the data. Okay, then build on the link, then you left in the results sections. Then some speculation is allowed. You can do some speculations. You can guess. Okay, come up from your own opinion. Okay. Then if the results are inconclusive, try to find something of value. If the result is not something that you anticipated, then you try to think of what are the reasons. Okay, with some supporting references is allowed actually. Okay. Then position the finding into the text, context of our previous research. Then from the references cited in introductions, then you try to position yourself. So my finding, I got better result, better strength compared to previous study. Why? Why is it so? So you can come up with your own opinion. So because of this and this, supported by the supplementary result, let's say XRD and SCM. Okay, this is the way how you discuss. Try to link between result and results. Let's say I told you just now, SRD, then SCM, then the strength. They try to link. Then you have your own discussion. Then you do benchmarking with previous study. So my sample, my idea, this is my the sample that I produced. So my sample is better than this one. So what I did, or what I used to encourage my students to do is come up with a table, then summarize those previous study. Okay, then list down the figure. So let's say strength. So the sample that I produce here, let's say antibacterial, the activity. So my sample is this one. Then previous study, what are the material, what is the idea, what the adjustment that they've done. Then what is the performance? Then from there, reader will have an overview. Where is the positions, okay, of this study. Then from there they will judge whether this is valuable, this is something got impact or not. Then I think reader reviewer will have the idea or whether your work is worth doing it or not. Okay, so suggest where the result of where result in previous research might help to interpret your own findings. Then explain if and how your research can contribute to knowledge. Then highlight your contribution. Okay, contribution. So reflects on the research design. Okay, what might you have done differently? So why your result is better? Then you have your own explanations. What modification or improvement you would suggest to another researcher? This is optional. Normally we will keep our idea. We will not tell other people in the manuscript. Okay, maybe in conference you can just say it out, but in paper, in manuscript, we will just keep those new idea for ourselves. Okay, so a summary for discussion, I will just skip. So some don'ts, okay, don't do this kind of mistakes later. So conclusions, okay, conclusions. I cannot see. Okay, so answer the research questions. Okay, remember you have background, you have problem statement, then you have research questions. Okay, the specific problem statement I told you just now. So the specific problem statement will have specific research questions. So now it's a short synopsis. Okay, so I think some students thought abstract and conclusion is the same. It's different. Okay, conclusion is just a synopsis of your result and discussions. It's not like abstract. You have background, problem statement, objective, methodology, and conclusion. Result, discussion, and conclusion. No, that is for abstract. For conclusion, it's just result and discussion. Important findings. Okay, and you need to highlight the impact of your work. Okay, that is conclusions. Okay, so explain the extent of which the result have provided and answer to the research question. So basically everything go back to the research question, go back to the problem statement. to tell people that I managed to solve the problem. Okay, I managed to come up with something to answer the research questions. Okay, that is conclusions. Okay, so if you can specify some question that another researcher can expand later. Okay, say maybe it's worth study, maybe in different angles. So that is maybe something that you can put in the conclusions. Okay, then last one, maybe you can include importance of the study. I say could be potentially used for what. Okay, could be a promising material for what kind of future applications. Okay, that is from your own opinion. Okay, that is conclusions. Okay, and if you want, you can highlight any deficiency, okay, any limitations from the study, but I think hardly seen, not many people actually will wanted to tell people what is the weaknesses of the study. Okay, but if you want, you can. Okay, then bring out any unanswered questions. It's also possible if you want. Okay, but I rarely do this. Okay, offer suggestion of future research. So these three are the same, basically. Okay, so references. Basically, you cite the most latest one, and make only cite relevant paper. Okay, relevant. So reviewer and experienced researcher often look at the references first, so to see how this work is relevant to the current development. If most of the citation is, let's say, 2010 and before, then you can see it's no longer relevant, your work. So try to cite as latest as possible. And students also make mistakes sometimes. Let's say they prepare the manuscript in 2017. Then over the time, the paper been revised, and eventually the final version submitted in 2020. Then the student forgot to cite 2000 latest references. That is I think quite a common problem done by students. Okay, so no matter when you submit your manuscript, always update the references, because paper articles published every day, basically hundreds, thousands of paper published every day. So have to make sure that it's up to date. Okay, follow the style. So I think this is not no longer new. Follow style. Without following the template, the style, then you will be rejected straight away. Okay, even maybe not even one day, the next hour you receive the rejection email. So ensure every reference is cited in the text, vice versa. So this is also very important. If you use the reference manager like EndNote or Mandal, I think shouldn't be a problem. Okay, the appendix. Yep, I told you just now. The appendix is for raw data, very minor or not so important, but it can be referred. Okay, if the reader wants. From my experience, high impact journals or comprehensive study always come together with supplementary documents. And supplementary document, the number of pages sometimes is larger, more than number of pages of the main articles. If you notice, that basically tells you that the authors know very well what they want to present in the body of the main articles. They know which one is important, which one is not important, but can be referred. Okay, can be referred. Then they will arrange accordingly. Those less important, they will just just put in supplementary document. That's my experience. If I look at good articles, most of the time, then download, and you'll notice that, oh, they have more supplementary, more data in the supplementary document rather than in the main articles. So you can practice the same thing if you want. Okay, so create good impressions. Okay, with attention to detail. So you know that this authors are very detailed. Okay, they know what they want. Okay, for instance, like chromatograph, then let's say raw data. Okay, then let's say this is an NMR spectrum. No point to put NMR spectrum in the main body of the manuscript, because eventually you still need to interpret it. Like HPLC spectrum, nobody will put that in the main body. Okay, main articles. Then Yep, I think I'm about to end. Then what may help? Okay, make sure your manuscript is full smooth. Then perfect figure. Perfect means at your positions. Okay, not perfect at the position of an editor. You think that is good enough, then you pass to the supervisor. The supervisor will do some adjustment for you. And perfect English. Okay, so, my practice also sometimes I will send for proof grammar editing because I think I want to publish it as soon as possible. I don't want to spend time for me to correct the English, improve the English. I will send for editing. Then perfect statistic, then understandable abstract, then right format. Okay, present data at meeting where editor. Now this is also sometime what I did previously before pandemic when I attended conference, big conference. You have editor. I met a couple of editor like cellulose editor, Professor Alfred. So I met him in the conference. Then just share some of the ideas. Then talk. Then he knows you. Then in future when you submit, then hopefully he will remember you. Then you give, because we met before. Then I think it will be much easier. Then you understand the way how you do your work. Then you'll be got actually advantages. Okay, for you to submit your manuscript in future. Then get to know editor, then you become reviewer. Maybe you can also actually have connection with the editor. Okay, so proofread, then format. Format always is the last part. Don't do the formatting first, just content. Okay, improve it. Then last one is formatting. No, and this is the what editor don't like. Then maybe I will just skip. So normally I covered the content during the presentation just now. So I will share the slide later. So I think I will stop here because I took too long your time. So I hope it's useful for you. So thank you for your attention. So I pass back to the chairperson.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Thanks, Lord, for your very nice and scientific information about how to write the scientific manuscript. We all are blessed by your lecture.
Welcome.
I hope that you will deliver your scientific lecture to my campus in presence in the near future.
I wish to. I look forward.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So, disconnect. Nahin. So I wish you all the success in near future. I'm requesting you, Dr. Suryanshi, to offer vote of thanks. इथंच बोलून घ्या. Professor Suryanshi.
Very nice lecture delivered by Professor Chin Chia Hua, sir. I know that during the research, publication is very important, and how the manuscript is right is also very important. You deliver a very nice lecture, so I am very much thankful on behalf of my institute, my principal, Dr. D.R. Patil, and all participants, then our respected guest, Honorable Dr. Rohanji More, and on behalf of my principal, I invite Professor Chia in our campus in presence. We all, including our management, principal, and all our staff and students of our college, would like to thank Professor Chia. Thank you very much, sir, for your nice presentation.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so see you everyone. Take care and bye. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay.
सर फीडबॅक लिंक शेअर केलेली आहे. फीडबॅक लिंक शेअर केलेली आहे.
What, sir?
फीडबॅक लिंक शेअर केलेली आहे.
Yes, yes, yes. Sir, I'm requesting all of you that you fill the feedback link and you will get your certificate at your email address. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.